Good morning. This is White Raptor News Ministries. All praise and glory to the Supreme Spirit of Truth, the Living One, the author of life. Before I start into this reading this morning, I just wanted to chat a little bit. It's been a while since I just free spoke one of these out. I guess what I'd like to start with would be Jesus, who says he held in his hand 7 stars, and from his mouth came a double-edged sword. I believe it's Revelations 1:18 or 1:16. Okay. Right hand, 7 stars. What's the 7 stars? They tell you that it's going to be an luminary, right? Astronomy, a star, literally or figuratively. So a literal star is what we look up into our sky, and we see that there's literally stars up in the sky. And those stars could be fractions of light or something higher looking down upon us, because there's fallen. What we are, we're the fallen stars. He held in his right hand 7 stars. What could the 7 stars be? They could be the 7 continents as well, figuratively now, because the Bible is a metaphor. It's riddles, and this is why it's got to be deciphered. The Bible tells you that it's a riddle. Proverbs chapter 1 verse 6 Bible Hub. By understanding the proverbs and parables, the sayings of the riddles of the wise. So this Bible is a book of riddles, and the book of riddles needs to be deciphered. Okay, and this is why Christians, they can't understand what is being said in the Bible. This is why Christians don't read the Bible. This is why a Christian will tell you they don't need the Bible. Now, a lot of Christians, they go to the Bible and they go to church and they have this Bible read to them from a minister. And either one of two things is happening with the minister. They're regurgitating the same stuff that they've learned from somebody else, and they've taken it all on faith and wisdom, or faith and hope, because there is no wisdom in Christianity. Okay, there's riddles, and those that are higher up, they know the riddles. All right, but they're not telling them to you. They know the truth about this plane of existence. They know the truth about Jesus. So the revelation here is he held in his right hand. Whose vision? John's vision at Patmos. And this is John talking about Jesus holding 7 stars in his right hand. And a sharp double-edged sword came from his mouth. And what is the double-edged sword? The double-edged sword, folks, is your tongue. We have a double-edged tongue. We say to our liking what we want at that particular time. To walk in complete 100% of your life without lying to anybody about anything is next to impossible. People can do it. I've been doing a pretty damn good job at it as of probably the last 10 years, but before that, I was a lying sack of shit, man. I'd say anything to anybody just to, get somebody to buy me a drink or whatever, man. Get a piece of ass, talk about my fish story that I caught a 5-foot fish when it was really only a 5-inch fish. To walk a straight and narrow line and never let one single lie come from your mouth is quite a feat. I mean, it's impossible to do, because as children born into this plane of existence, we all lie. So could you imagine Jesus with his hand in the cookie jar and his mom and dad catching him with the hand in the cookie jar? And what is the kid's first reaction to do? To put their hand behind their back that has the cookie in it, right? So people were taught that Jesus was perfect in every way and he never sinned once. I don't believe that. I think that's pretty ignorant. How can any of us prove that? That's where they tell you got to go on faith. You have to believe it. You got to have faith and hope in what? They tell you not to lean on your own understanding. When they tell you not to lean on your own understanding, that's your understanding between you and Source. They don't want you to lean on that understanding. They want you to lean on what they're teaching you in the Bible, which is only half-truths surrounded by a pack of lies. Because this plane of existence is duality. Duality, it came into existence on the 6th day of creation. Dictionary.com. I try to let people know and understand that duality comes from self, and that God that created himself in an image is duality. How do I get there? A person or thing referred to with respect to complete individuality. Look at the word individuality. Duality. This God that created himself in an image created himself in duality. Both good and evil. This one is fallen. It does good, but it does the good that it creates out of chaos. It destroys first and makes everybody think that it needs it. Okay? It's the one that creates war and creates the chaos, and through that chaos comes order. Oops. So through chaos comes order. The individuality. It also has the word divvy up, divine in it, as in divine. As in the what? The one that divine spirit and the source are two different spirits. The divine spirit is calling itself divine when divine means to divvy up. It means duality. Something that fell. A God that fell from heaven. You have one God that's saying you're not to place any other gods before me, then that implies that there are other gods. You have Jesus that's telling you that is it not written in your law that I have said you are gods. So he's telling you that there are other gods as well. You also, I believe it's in Psalms 82, Psalms chapter 82. I think it's neither will they understand, they walk in darkness, all the foundations of the earth are out of course. It's true, that's good. That's not the one I'm looking for, but that would apply here. But ye shall die like men. I like this one too. Oh, okay, here it is, 6 is 6. I have said ye are gods, again, and all of you are children of the Most High. Well, who is this? Okay, who is this and who are they speaking to? Okay, why am I making this argument? Because Jesus says himself, I was only sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And this is written from the New Testament and is telling you, he answered, I was sent only to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So who is Israel? Israel would be the second creation. Genesis chapter 2 verse 7, Bible Hub. Israel comes from the bloodline of Adam and Eve. You see, there's two. This is man and woman in the garden that's being created. Genesis chapter 1 verse 27, Bible Hub. This is a God that created a man in his image. An image is a phantom. An image is a ghost. An image is to shade. So what we are, us, we are vain shows of ourselves, as it tells us. Jeremiah chapter 16 verse 19, Bible Hub. O Lord, my strength and my fortress, my refuge in the day of distress. the nations, the Gentile nations. So who is this that's talking right here? This is the prophet Jeremiah. Jeremiah is the one that's saying, "O Lord, my strength and fortress and refuge in the day of distress." The nations. The nations are the United Nations, are the Gentile. The Gentile shall come to you from all ends of the earth, and they will say, "Our fathers inherited nothing but lies from our governments, from our ancestors, worthless idols." So when you go to your ancestors, you hear people talking to their ancestors all the time. But the lies are what come from our ancestors, because we're all teaching our children pagan worship. Worthless idols. This is it. This is the worthless idols are us, of no benefit at all. If you are not serving source and you are no benefit at all, King James Bible says over here, "O Lord, my strength and my fortress and refuge in the day of affliction, the Gentiles shall come unto thee from all ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies." Our fathers have inherited lies. I've inherited lies. Our children are inheriting lies. And those lies continue to be passed down because we're not getting the right message. Vanities. Proving my point right here. We have inherited nothing but lies, and this is vanity of ourselves. We are a vain show of ourselves. Those that have fallen into the flesh. You live in the flesh, you're carnal, you're a vampire. And things wherein there is no profit. What is things there is no profit? That's the one that I said over here. They're worthless idols. Worthless idols are, and who's a worthless idol? All your rock and roll stars, all your Hollywood stars, all your political stars, all your generals who wear stars, all your LBGTQ&A stars, all of you stars that have fallen from source and you've gone your own way. Okay? There are laws that are required to be followed in all of this. And if you do not follow these laws and you transgress these laws, then you can't figure things out like this. That this God Elohim created a man in his own image, and an image is a phantom, and a phantom is a ghost, and a ghost is a spirit of the dead. So when this God Elohim fell from source, if you ask me today, the more that I read this Bible, I believe that Elohim are not good. Okay? And there's something that is used. Elohim are plural. They're all other gods. Could this God here be the same God that's on the back of your dollar bill? The one that says, "In God we trust," on their money, on their dollar bill right there, monetary. Isn't the monetary system a 666 system? Sure the hell is. That's what I'm talking about. So this one here on the 6th day of creation, okay, has everything to do with the beasts that were created on the 6th day of creation. Because look, if we back this up one to Genesis 1:25, and we come up here to Genesis 1:25, this is the same God Elohim who made the beasts of the earth according to their kinds, the living livestock according to their kinds, and everything that crawls upon the earth according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. So God saw that the beasts of the earth here were good. Now, what's really peculiar about this is I've said that this Bible has been cut up in pieces. And the question that I wish to put to you is, if I'm saying that this is the devil right here that's being created on the 6th day of creation. Revelations chapter 13, verse 18, Bible Hub. So here's a call for wisdom. Let the one with insight calculate the number of the beast, for it's the number of a man, and that number is 666. So I just showed you monetary in English gematria is 666. Okay, this is talking about a riddle, because I showed you that the Bible is a book of riddles. Here, The Riddles of the Wise. Let's go ahead and close that one out. And before I close out dictionary.com, I'd like to come up here and show you the word, let's see, Gentile. So the word Gentile applies to Christians. Christians are Gentiles, all right? Christians are heathens and pagans. Don't get pissed off at me, okay? You don't have to be like that, but as long as you're transgressing laws and you're enslaving people and you're killing people and you're creating war and you're putting drugs on the streets and you create the prostitution and you create it all, and then you say you're going to, they used to, you don't even hear about prostitution anymore. It's so prevalent everywhere on the internet, but you don't see any of that shit being shut down now, do you? And this is a Christian world right here, or at least the United States is a Christian religion. Okay, as distinguished from the Israelite. I don't even like the word Jewish, to be honest with you. I think that this is a made-up word. It's you take the word ish, means that you're kind of a Jew. If there was anything, it would be distinguished as from Jew, period, not Jewish. Those that are in the providence of Israel today, they are Jewish because they've stolen the natural Jews' bloodline. They have. Here, images of Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Let's find a good one here. It's usually in here. Let's see. Well, this would probably be pretty close. A little darker. Give me 1 second. Looking over here to the right, Jesus come from the Shemite clan. And folks, that is as black could be. Ham and Shem were black. Japheth was more than likely a mixed man. Someone who had both a white mother or a white father and a black mother or black father, one or the other. That's how you got the light colored skin from the bloodline of Adam and Eve. And if you look here, you can plainly see that this picture here is of Jesus. Oh, sorry about that. Not gonna, well, I don't know if you can see that or not, but that is Jesus with the crown over his head. And there's no such thing as astronauts. That's why they have the word knots on the end of astro. The way we travel through is through the mind. We travel in our sleeps. When we go to sleep, your soul leaves the body and returns to source. And then when your body requires the spirit back, that's when you start tossing and turning, or the slightest noise will wake you up. That's when your spirit's returning. And when you're having dreams, like nightmares, scary nightmares and stuff, that's because you're crossing through planes, different planes, returning to your body because you've been out astral traveling in your sleep. You are not in your body when you're dreaming, folks. The body feels like you're when you come out of that dream, it feels like you are in your body, doesn't it? You wake up in cold sweats. You ever had one of those terrifying type dreams? Yeah. So with all of that said, my entire point here is that we do have two types of creations. We have a man and woman that was created in the garden. Okay, this was after the seventh day. I mean, the seventh day had already been created, right? And then what's really odd is when we go back to the creation story, it tells us through Genesis 1 that everything's being created. And then it says in Genesis 2:4, if we back up to here a little bit, This is the accounts of the heaven and the earth when they were created in the day that the Lord God made them. So hold on, I thought in the beginning God created the heaven and earth. So this is the accounts of the heaven and the earth. There's two different creation stories that are going on here. Okay? Israel's God, here's the one that creates. This is the second creation. This is not the first creation that was created on the sixth day of creation. That sixth day of creation here has everything to do with Revelations 13:18. It's that simple. And people just refuse to listen to this truth when I share it with them. It's horrifying. You can put it right in front of their face and they refuse to hear it. So let's move into this reading here at Kings 10. And the Queen of Sheba visits Solomon. When the Queen of Sheba heard about the fame of Solomon and his relationship to the Lord, she came to test Solomon with hard questions. And when I think of these types of things, I think, wow, what a hard question. These aren't hard questions. At least they're not hard questions to me, but, let's move on here. Arriving at Jerusalem with a very great caravan, with camels carrying spices, large quantities of gold and precious stones, which none of them mean anything. This world here wants you to think of precious stones and all this stuff is valuable. There's nothing valuable on this plane of existence other than your soul, what you come into this plane of existence with. You don't come into this plane of existence with gold and silver and piercings and stuff all over your body, now do you? No, sir, you don't. Okay. She came to Solomon and talked with him about all that she had on her mind. Solomon answered all her questions. Nothing was too hard for the king to explain to her. When the Queen of Sheba saw all the wisdom of Solomon and the palace he had built, the food on his table, the seatings of his officials, the attending servants in their robes, his cupbearers, and the burnt offerings he made at the temple of the Lord, she was overwhelmed. Overwhelmed. She said to the king, "The reports I have heard in my own country about your achievements and your wisdom is true. But I did not believe these things until I came and saw with my own eyes. Indeed, not even half was told me. In wisdom and wealth you have far exceeded the reports I heard. How happy your people must be, how happy your officials, who continually stand before you and hear your wisdom. Praise be to the Lord your God, who has delighted in you and placed you on the throne of Israel. Because of the Lord's eternal love for Israel, he has made you king to maintain justice and righteousness." And she gave the king 120 talents of gold, large quantities of spices and precious stones. Never again were so many spices brought in as those the Queen of Sheba gave to King Solomon. Hiram's ships brought gold from Ophir, and from there they brought great cargoes of almond wood and precious stones. The king used the almond wood to make supports for the temple of the Lord and for the royal palace, and to make harps and lyres for the musicians. So much almond wood has never been imported or seen since that day. King Solomon gave the Queen of Sheba all she desired and asked for, besides what he had given her out of his royal bounty. Then she left and returned with her retinue to her own country. Solomon's splendor. The weight of gold that Solomon received yearly was 666 talents. Ooh-wee. What a number to come up with there, huh? Isn't that a beast number? It's right there in your face. 666 talents. Hold on. Monetary value in English gematria, 666. Nobody does it better. Makes me feel sad for the rest. Okay. Not including the revenues from the merchants and traders and from all the Arabian kings and the governors of the territory. So that's like, okay, the president ruling all of the governors of the territory, because the government, they're at a state level, federal, even though, like, our governor here, Gavin Newsom, shithead Gavin Newsom, they're all tied in with one another. They're a hive mind. These people are like the scene on John Wick and stuff. They're everywhere. That's what I just wish people understood, that movie, They Live, that wasn't a movie for entertainment. It was a documentary. Even the actor who played in that movie. See, I was under the impression that Roddy Piper told America in an interview that the movie They Live was a documentary, but here I'm being corrected by AI that's telling us that he didn't say it, but the movie director John Carpenter has called it a documentary parable. So it was a science fiction movie that was way back in the day, where you find a pair of glasses and you stick them on the face and you could see the evil that was among us. The evil that was among us is this right here, that's created on the sixth day of creation. Genesis 1:26 and 27 and 25. 25, 26, and 27. This is all the sixth day of creation right here. The sixth day of creation is a 6. God creates the beasts of the earth according to their kinds right here is 6. But I doubt, okay, the God Elohim that saw what he created here, the beast, is one that's saying it's good. My friend, a dear friend of mine, she gets upset with me because I keep trying to say that there's another God that created a different race, created itself in an image. And Israel's God is the one that created Israel. All right? And they're not created in an image. They're molded from the dust of the earth. And the breath of life was placed in them. There is no breath of life on these that are created on the sixth day of creation. I can confirm my findings right here that God made the beast of the earth. I can confirm that this is mankind that I'm talking about. I'll confirm it for you. 2 Peter 2:12 Bible Hub. We're going to jump over here to the King James Bible, and it says, but these as natural brute beasts, made to be taken and destroyed. But these as natural brute Gentile, these are the Gentile here, they're brute beasts. Gentile are brute beasts, and they're made to be taken and destroyed. And this is what tells me that the beasts are evil. What beast? Everybody is mixing the beast, thinking that when Genesis 1:25 is talking about the beast of the field, it's not talking about the beast of the field or the wild animals that are out in the wild animal kingdom. It's talking about the beast of the field and the wild animals that live in the cities. It's you. You're the secret destroyers. I don't know if you heard that or not, so I'm going to turn it up. Try that again.
The world is a vampire sent to drain.
So the world is a vampire. Look at those dark eyes. The world is a vampire. It's sent to drain. I gotta pause this and do it. I'm doing it the way I'm doing it, or I'll get a strike. What do you say?
Hold you up to the flames. Hold you up to the flames. Secret destroyer.
So there's a race of people. They're secret destroyers. And that race of people are being called the beast of the earth. The secret destroyers are the beast of the earth. And the secret destroyers are going to be the ones that speak evil. But these are as natural brute beasts made to be taken and destroyed, speak evil things of what they do not understand. What do they speak evil of? They're the ones that tell you that Jesus is God. They're the beasts of the field because they worship a God that created himself. I can confirm this. This God that said, then God said, let us make man in our image. This God said, let us make man in our image. 1 Colossians 1:15 Bible Hub. He is the image of the invisible God. This is Jesus. 15, Jesus, 1 Colossians. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Colossians is right. The Son is the image of the invisible God. This God again here is what? A deity God. A theos, especially the supreme divinity. Figuratively a magistrate. Well, if it's figuratively a magistrate by Hebrewism, then it's telling you that, and I've showed you this picture many times, that a magistrate is a third, I believe, is a third degree, and a maga is a fifth degree. So a magistrate, this is why you have the word magi and magistrate, because these people are sorcerers. They're illusionists. We're living in a world of an illusion, man. They're pulling this world, the entire world and everything that is around you is an illusion. And this is why the Spirit is saying, don't get caught up into this world. So the Son who? The Son who are we talking about? The supremacy of Christ. The Son, Jesus Christ, is the image of the invisible God, firstborn over all creation. 24 Exodus. No. Chapter 20, verse 4, Exodus. You shall not make for yourself an idol or any likeness of anything in heaven above, or that in the earth beneath, or that in the waters below, under the earth. So Jesus is the image. And you have another God. This here idol is an image, by the way, in case you're like saying that ain't. You shall not make for yourself an image, right here. You shall not make for yourself an image in the form of anything in heaven above, the earth beneath, or the waters below. All of that from 666. Am I putting it together for you? Are you understanding what it is I'm sharing with you? King Solomon made 200 large shields of hammered gold. 600 shekels of gold went into each shield. He also made 300 small shields of hammered gold, with 3 minas of gold in each shield. The king put them in the palace for the forest of Lebanon. The forest of Lebanon, remember, the Bible also talks about Lebanon, where it tells you that the Assyrian is a cedar in Lebanon with fair branches. Okay, so that's another lesson. But Lebanon, as far as I'm understanding, is where probably Satan's ass landed when he was thrown down. Then the king made a great throne covered with ivory and overlaid with fine gold. The throne had 6 steps, and its back had a rounded top. On both sides of the seat were armrests, with a lion standing beside each of them. 12 lions stood on the 6 steps, one at either end of each step. Nothing like it had ever been made for any other kingdom. All King Solomon's goblets were gold, and all the household articles in the palace of the forest of Lebanon were pure gold. Nothing was made of silver, because silver was considered a little value in Solomon's days. The king had a fleet of trading ships and sea along with the ships of Hiram. Once every 3 years it returned, carrying gold, silver, and ivory, the apes and baboons. King Solomon was greater in riches and wisdom than all the other kings of the earth. The whole world sought audience with Solomon to hear the wisdom God had put in his heart. Year after year, everyone who came brought a gift, articles of silver and gold, robes, weapons, and spices, and horses and mules. Solomon accumulated chariots and horses. He had 1,400 chariots and 12,000 horses, which he kept in the chariot cities, and all with him in Jerusalem. The king made him silver as common in Jerusalem as stones, and the cedar as plentiful as sycamore fig trees in the foothills. Solomon's horses were imported from Egypt and from Ku. The royal merchants purchased them from the Ku at the current price. They imported a chariot from Egypt for 600 shekels of silver and a horse for 150. They also exported them to all the kings of Hittites and of the Arameans. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed the lesson. All praise and glory does go to the Supreme Spirit of Truth, the living God. Be blessed. This is White Raptor News Ministries.